welcome to Season 2 of Skinterviews. I am one of your two hosts. My name is George Skandalis, and this guy over here is, which I always get this wrong.
Nathan Strong.
I'm feeling a little rusty, Nathan. This is Episode 1, Season 2, back from the summer. Things are moving and shaking again post-COVID. COVID's still around. I shouldn't say post-COVID, but post the major restrictions we were having within Canada, because our US guests are still facing a lot of restrictions from what I understand. And we're back for Season 2, man. Like, this is wild.
It's exciting.
Can you believe it's Season 2?
To be honest, I never thought there would be a Season 2, George. I'm just happy to be here, and it's awesome to be back.
Well, let's thank our sponsors for Season 2, since that's one of the big reasons why we're back this year, and that is Fullscript. So big round of applause for Fullscript. I'm going to read this the first couple of episodes we do, so I never get it wrong because, respect. Fullscript is the ultimate platform for those who want to do wellness the right way, the personal way. It has the industry's most comprehensive catalog of 300 plus professional quality products, making safe supplements more accessible and affordable, and making personalized treatment plans possible. What this means is there's no more guessing games. Do you need vitamin D? Which vitamin D? Do you need vitamin B12? Is your doctor prescribing you maybe arnica before your injections or your surgery? From now on, there's no guessing games. Your doctor can make the prescription and go right onto an online dispensary where you can get all the stuff you need directly from him or her. Did I do well on that?
It was perfect.
I felt so too. I would rate it a 10 out of 10. But since we're talking about 10 out of 10s, I think that we should get right into our first guest. And oddly enough, we're in Canada, but our first guest is on the West Coast in the USA.
Yes.
And he's definitely a 10 out of 10, like on many levels. In fact, I got a little bit of a note on his bio here. So he's known throughout the nation as the master of his field. Doctor, and we're going to say who he is later, is redefining the world of liposuction and body shaping. Sign me up. One impeccably sculpted client at a time. Equal parts innovator, scientist, and artist. I love that. He goes where no other cosmetic dermatologist has gone before. While other doctors perform routine liposuction and skin rejuvenation procedures, this doctor pushes the boundaries of what's possible, earning him a well-deserved reputation as the man behind some of Beverly Hills' most notorious bodies. I got to get my ass out to Beverly Hills. That's all I got to say right now. I want to be HD, liposculpted, top to bottom, redone, redefined, turned inside out by the one, the only, the first guest of Season 2 of Skinterviews, Dr. Jason Emer. Bring him in.
Hey.
Hello.
Owen.
How are you guys?
We're good.
We're great. How are you?
This is my normal intro. I go, hey guys. It's become something of a thing in the United States.
How close do we get?
I get as close as I can, even to the nose hair. I always tell people as close as you can get.
I trimmed mine before the interview.
I know, that's why you look so good. I told them before we did this interview that you better, because I was going to teach you guys the secret, hey guys, and the pursed lips.
It was in the roster. They said, we got to trim our nose hairs, our ear hairs. Anything else we want to do is personally fine, but get up close to the camera and the lips.
Yeah. Oh my God, you do that better than me. That is striking.
Right? Imagine if I got a little HD lipo sculpted by you with the lips.
You could stop an entire room with that.
Yeah, like stand back, J-Lo. Stand back.
That's great.
How are you? How are things out there with COVID, with life, with work? What's going on?
Well, I mean, we're doing great. We're really busy right now. Obviously, we have to, limit the number of patients that we see, but you'd be surprised the amount of people that really want to come in and do procedures, especially since they have, quote, no downtime. They're at home. They're doing Zoom calls. They're mainly working from home if they're working at all. They don't care if they look terrible. So we're doing lots of lasers. And if they're recovering from surgery, look, I can hide it all right now. You would never know.
Yeah.
So they're doing their treatments, and we're getting really busy.
Amazing, amazing. You know, we've been talking to a few doctors leading up to starting filming, and a lot of them have mentioned, especially in the surgical world, they're busier than they've ever been because everybody can afford to have the downtime.
I know you'd be surprised because you'd think people would want to spend the money, but I think that people that had either saved up or, you know, are making it a priority, they're seeing things, especially on their face, that they haven't seen before. That's why I said when you get up close, you really see the pores, the halo lights, really emphasize the wrinkles and the sun damage. Going like this shows you, I mean, even myself, I was like, oh my God, you know, I'm approaching 40. I might need to get my neck done. Who knows? You know what I mean? So those things are really on the rise. It's like Zoom plastic surgery, you know?
Absolutely. Well, we know that you're successful at what you do. I mean, you know, I just saw on Instagram, what was it? 300,000+ followers on Instagram. What was the
Yeah, on one of our Instagrams of my Jason Emer MD, we have 307,000 followers, I think. On our Emerage Skin, which is my new skincare line, we have 490 something thousand followers. And then our Emerage Cosmetics, which is our cosmetics store, has almost 60,000.
Wow. That is incredible.
And that's just Instagram.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
It's not bad for, you know, starting from the ground up and really doing everything organically in our own practice. I started at a time where everyone knows social media as being a hub for plastic surgery and for showing before and afters and talking about cosmetic procedures. But when I started I started 14 years ago, but online we started really doing Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram. Nobody was really doing it. Actually, I was flagged over and over, twice lost my Facebook and Instagram for 30 days because competitive doctors and people in the industry just were blocking me for posting even hazed out photos of male genitalia or women's breasts because they just, you know, were nervous by it. You go, you know, you look at advertisements in Europe and people are naked all over the place. In the United States, it's so restricted.
Yeah.
You know, so from the beginning, you know, people really were taken back. Even when I started posting on LinkedIn at the beginning, lipo stuff, people would send me hate mail because they would ask me, I couldn't believe it. They would say, why are you posting this stuff on LinkedIn? And I said, well, what does it matter what the platform means to you? I can post anything I want. It's what I do for my job. And now it's a routine thing that people are actually looking at it. But before, I mean, I'll tell you, we were literally getting hate mail every day. And people flagging me every single day on all platforms, even on on Facebook now, we cannot post any breast. The second that I do, somebody flags me and we get taken down for a month. So I can't do it.
That's wild. Now, here's the thing. Skinterviews is all about getting to know the man behind the profession or the woman behind the profession. In your case, the man behind the profession. Now, I got to tell you.
I don't know why my team told me not to wear my cutoff shirt or wear no shirt. Typically, I would have done this in the shower then. I don't understand.
Look, it's the first episode. If we're going to take them off, I'm all about it.
I would have easily done that. I'll show my abs. Don't worry before we leave.
Oh, brilliant.
Before I take my shirt off, because I took it off last.
That was quick.
Yeah, I'm pretty easy. I'm not.
That's great. I love it.
I'm pretty easy. I'm not gonna lie. But before
you haven't even had high def yet. Imagine if you had high def, what you would be doing. People run down my hallways naked after surgery because they're so happy with their bodies.
All right, so I'm coming to see you. Now we've booked it. It's done. We don't even need to do the interview. We're finished.
Done.
Here's the thing about you. I've been following you for quite a while. I'm a fan. I'm absolutely obsessed with your website, actually, which is something whoever's developed and created it and however much involvement you had in it, it is absolutely incredible.
I want you to stay tuned in the next 2 weeks because the updated version is going to launch. I haven't even told anybody yet, and it is phenomenal.
You mean
it gets rolled out over 6 months because I don't want all these doctors stealing what I do. So we're doing little pieces at a time because if you show it all at once, then everyone just within 1 year, there's a replica. But if you show little pieces at a time, no one actually knows where you're going. And I just finally learned this after a little bit of time. So the initial homepage design, other stuff is going to be, but I wanted it to be very interactive, very visual, very personal. I mean, the patients that come to see me, they watch all my YouTube videos. They look at my patient stories. They look at the authenticity and the realness to the treatments because we're showing them live and we're showing people's immediate reactions. We don't Photoshop. We don't edit. These are the real things. And the majority of things, honestly, that I think is out there now in cosmetics is Photoshopped and it's marketed. I mean, I had a friend of mine send me a picture of a guy's jawline the other day. I go, that's not real. It's impossible, you know? And you could see it was like chiseled like this. And then it was like that before. And it definitely, there was some editing going on there or lighting distortion or something to show a much positive result. But you can't do that if the person's in the face of the camera and they're showing their results. So that's what we do. And that's what the new site's going to be about.
I love it. Now I got to tell you, on your site, there's a lot of personal elements that almost give us an insight into the world of Jason Emer.
Yeah, that's true. And I tell you, the first video that I ever made, because we make documentary videos every year,
right?
It was me running outside my apartment into the Runyon Canyon and stuff like that, and had no shirt on. I got hate mail for that. People said, why would a dermatologist be showing off their body? Why would a professional doctor be running around naked? When I wasn't running around naked, I was just running outside.
Well, I mean,
I wanted people to understand that if I talk about taking care of yourself, whether it's your skin, the sculpting, or the body contouring, I practice what I preach, and I do the same thing. I exercise, I diet, I have a whole separate life that isn't related to what I do at work, and I want people to feel that connection. So I kept it. I didn't care.
I think it's brilliant, but I'm surprised no one told you that when you became a doctor, you're not allowed to take your shirt off and run around.
I know, I've been told. Yeah, I've been told.
But I want to take it right back to the very beginning. We're going to get right into our interview here, and we're going to go right back to day one. Jason Emer enters into this world, takes in his first breath, and your parents decide to name you. Was it Jason Emer? Is there a middle name? Is that your full name? Is there any meaning behind your name?
Well, there's no meaning behind Jason, but Joel, my middle name, which is everyone used to call me JJ growing up. I even had a little rocking chair that said JJ on it. I'll never forget it. It was white and red. And to this day, I hate red as any color. If you actually see any of my branding, you'll never see red because to me, it's the sign of blood. But maybe it's because I remember this from this rocking chair when I was little. But the Joel has to do with my great-grandfather's middle name.
Nice. And where were you born? And do you have siblings?
I was born in Chicago, where I'm from. That's why I'm a nice Midwest guy stuck in a 90210 zip code. That's why my patients love me so much. They're like, you're not from here. You act so differently. I'm like, I know, Midwest guy.
And siblings, did you say you have a brother?
Yeah, I have a brother and sister. My sister is one of the biggest hairstylists in one of the suburbs of Chicago. Does a lot of the fancy, coloring and hairstyling. She probably would be one of those Instagram famous hair people if she was in LA. My brother sells mattresses if anyone ever needs any.
Oh. I might need one post-surgery.
Honestly, I'm telling you, he has sold so many mattresses over COVID. I've never seen someone make so much in commissions over mattresses.
That's amazing.
It's true. You're laying at home all day. What do you need? You think of getting your new couch and your new mattress.
Who was mom and dad's favorite growing up?
Oh, definitely me. And my sister was always pissed about it. She would get in fights with my mom all the time. And I was from a time, I'm a lot older than people think. But I was from a time when your parents would hit you a little bit if you said something bad, like smack you in the face or hit your hand. Yeah. So my sister would talk back all the time and get smashed in the face with a newspaper. Nowadays, she'd be arrested. My mom.
Who's the favorite of your parents today, though, as adults?
That's a good question, actually. I would say it's somewhat even. The only problem I have, my dad never asks me for anything cosmetics because he doesn't care. He looks like very young. He has amazing genetics. My mom, on the other hand, and my sister always ask for Botox and fillers. They're always asking. So something comes, I post something, they want it. They need to fly here and I have to pay for it. So I think it's maybe my dad then.
So tell us a little bit about growing up in regards to what was a favorite thing you and your brothers and sisters like to do with your parents in the weekend that you can remember?
Well, the biggest thing, and I honestly think this is going to resonate with a lot of your viewers, at least in the United States. I don't know about Canada, we have to see, but I loved going to those grills where they cook in front of you, where they do, and they throw the food at you, and they do all the stuff with the onion volcano, and they make the heart out of rice and everything. So we would always go to, here it's called Benihana, but I don't know what, where it's called everywhere else. What'd you say?
Teppanyaki, they call
Everyone remembers Teppanyaki Grill.
Yeah.
So even to this day, last year, I'm always so focused. I'm literally hyper-focused. My phone says that I'm on it 22 hours a day, but I believe I sleep 4 to 6 hours. So I don't understand what my phone is telling me. And so my best friend who works for me, he knew that I would be on my phone 24/7 on my birthday, because we were in Las Vegas. I was doing a training course teaching doctors on my birthday, and we're flying home, and I was on my phone the whole time. And we stop in the car stops, and I go, "Oh, you're here." And we get out, and I'm still on my phone, and I'm like looking around, I'm like, "Where are we?" I thought I was going to be home, and it was Benihana. My best friend did a surprise birthday party at Teppanyaki Grill last year because he knew that I would never look while I was in the car, and I was on the phone the whole time. That goes to show how obsessed I am with social media, answering my emails, really, always my reputation online. I literally am just focused. If anyone's going to get tech neck, it's me.
It's funny you should talk about birthdays, because that brings me into my next question. Growing up, what was the first birthday you remember as a young kid?
That's actually a really good question. It's funny that no one's ever asked me that before. Even my best friends wouldn't know this. I was either my 13th or 14th birthday. I know it was before I started getting my training driver's license. In the United States, you can't drive till 16, but at 15 you get a little training license. So at 13 and 14, I really wanted to be a scientist. I knew I wanted to be a doctor, but I really wanted to be a scientist. And I used to every night go outside with my dogs, because I had 2 huge Newfoundlands. I don't know if you guys know Newfoundlands, but I had huge dogs growing up. And I would go outside and I would grab those glow bugs and I would put them in, different containers. So my dad bought me, and my mom bought me, a microscope. So then I started cutting them up and putting them on these little slides and looking at them under the microscope. So I had a microscope set. So I knew at that point I was probably going to do something in science.
Wow.
Or surgery.
You're made for it,
might work as a surgery.
Yeah. So speaking of parents, what was the most important lesson you thought you learned from your parents?
I think the biggest thing I learned, and this is what I tell my patients all the time, the one thing you will get out of me the most is honesty. If people come in, and that's what my parents taught me, and that's the other reason I think that our practice has been so successful, because I would say 80 to 90% of my clients, they stay with me forever. And in a 6-year, we just hit our 6th year in practice. I have, I think, like 30,000 clients, and that much time as a single doctor doing only cosmetics, no insurance, is quite phenomenal, because it's very hard to build that level of loyalty. And what I tell my patients is I'm very honest. I had a patient today, severe acne scars. She's spending a ton of money on treatments like light lasers and microneedling. And the fact is those treatments would never work for her. Waste of money, waste of time. And every one of the doctors that she saw said, you're going to see some improvement. You're going to see, but that's not true at all. And so I have 80 lasers, and she came in. I'm like, look, your scars are so severe. You can only do these super strong treatments. And that's the honest truth. If you want to do these other ones, you're not going to see anything. Right. Or if somebody comes in and they're like, I want to do something for my neck, but they have a lot of sagging, or they're a young person, let's say they lost 100 pounds and they have loose skin on their stomach, and a doctor goes, oh, I could do a little lipo. That's not true. They have loose skin. It needs to be surgically removed. It doesn't matter if they have a scar or not. They have to do that. If they don't do it, the result's going to be bad. So I think the problem is people will either love that or they'll hate it. And that's what I tell people. I'm like a love-hate situation. You either love the fact that I'm super honest with you, and then my clients that are like that, they go, do whatever. I trust you. Or the other people that hate it just hate it because they're not willing to face the, the reality, or take they tell other people what to do and they'll do it, but I won't do that because I don't do fake looks. I don't do bad work. I want to make sure that if you're going to spend money, you're going to see an outcome and it's going to be a really good result. And that's why my body contouring treatments and like the stuff we do with lasers in the face has really taken an exponential growth over the past 5 to 6 years of the results and the improvements, because we've been able to have patients that understand the long-term plan and they want to do it and they get that type of results. I posted a video 2 days ago, I think, of a guy that had full body lifting and lost almost 200 pounds. We did an Instagram TV showing him 2 weeks later, and it showed scars across his chest, scars down his arms, scars around his entire stomach. And everyone's like, oh my God, why would you give him all these scars? Instead of looking at the positive, which was this guy literally had a skin suit. He couldn't even walk around without skin hanging off of his body. He could see any athletic shaping to his body. So would you rather have a few scars and look like an athlete, or would you rather have a hanging skin suit and never want to look at your body at all? Right? So that's that's what I said to him when he came. And I said, you're going to need 2 to 3 surgeries. We need to cut off all the skin. Yeah, you're going to have scars, but you're going to look amazing. Because you're going to have a chest, you're going to have a V taper that you've never seen before. You're going to have a defined waist, you're going to have a lifted butt. What would you choose? And he's like, I don't care about the scars. So it's all about honesty, I think, in every type of relationship. And going to a cosmetic dermatologist or a plastic surgeon is a relationship. You're developing, there's a dating period, and then you're developing the trust that they're going to give you a good outcome, or they're going to be that person for you in the long run.
Absolutely.
100% agree.
You've obviously, I love the part that you want people to know so much information. You want them to know so much about what you do, and you pride yourself on education. So I want to know, growing up, whether it was in med school or in elementary school or high school, tell me about a favorite teacher you had that really made an impact on your life, whether it was in a positive way or a negative way. We've had both in the past in the show discussed.
Well, it's interesting. When I was younger, I had a 5th grade math teacher that was very adamant about being meticulous. He always would say, count, the way that you count and the way that you write always needs to be very meticulous. That's how you can always get a right answer. And so from my entire life going forward, I've always been very detailed, very meticulous. That's why as a chief resident, when I was in my residency, we were able to do things, but the doctor that ran my hospital would let me do things that no dermatology residents would ever do, like the liposuction, the big lasers. And I was doing HIV treatments for HIV patients with silicone and fat injections and things that people normally didn't do because I was so meticulous and so detailed. I will tell you though, the funny thing is I'll never forget the first patient I ever had was a 90-something-year-old Upper East Side Jewish woman who had been in the Holocaust. And she had terrible psoriasis, which is, if anyone doesn't know, an inflammatory skin condition that forms these white flakes, and it could be irritating, it can actually be in the genitals, so it could affect your sex life. And so she did a clinical trial with me, and literally it cleared all of her psoriasis. Wow. So she started dating this guy in her 70s. She called him her boy toy. She was loving life. And I'll never forget, she came in and she had some wrinkles. I mean, look, she's 90. She's got some wrinkles. So she had some wrinkles, and she goes, what can you do for me, honey? What can you do? You already changed my life. Upper East Side Jewish woman, you know what I mean? So love her. So I'm allowed to say that because I was an Upper East Side Jewish guy too. So with that said, I said, I can do a chemical peel for you. This is 14 years ago. I didn't know anything about chemical peels at the time. I just really wanted to give her something. And I knew that doctors were starting to do this a little bit. So I went home that night and she goes, okay, I'll book it next week, honey. And I said, all right. I went home and I watched, there wasn't videos as many at the time, but I watched any videos possible, bought every book. I maxed out my credit card. I bought every book on chemical peels. And then I asked my attending physician, can I do this type of peel I read about on this woman? And he said, do you know how to do that? I don't even know how to do that. Do you know how to do that? And I said, of course. I'm meticulous. I know what to do, you know? And he said, okay, I trust you can do it. He bought me the chemicals. I did it. Her face looked like Frankenstein for 3 weeks. He told me it was worse than the Holocaust. I'm not kidding. I never would lie about that. But her skin was so perfect afterwards that, and she would come in and she's like, my boy Ty and I can't even stop touching each other. I love myself. I love myself. I learned the impact of how feeling good impacts your life.
Yeah.
I mean, here is a 9-year-old woman who could care less about a couple wrinkles, and she's got a 20-year younger boyfriend who does this peel, which was hell because meticulous me that didn't really even know how to do it. Thank God she was fine. This is how you learn, unfortunately, at that time. And she was living life. It was super happy. But I learned that you have to be really meticulous, really attentive, not only to the writing and the math skills, but also to every application of a peel, every spot of a laser. Like when people come and watch me do a laser, I don't miss a spot. I mean, it is perfectly designed. I draw it out. It's super designed. I'm very meticulous. When someone looks at me, I am focused on their skin. So, and I have people that come in. That's the same thing with lipo. You know, nowadays I've seen these irregularities, indentation, scar tissue, and I don't understand how. I'm watching videos on Instagram where people are doing the lipo and talking to the camera. How can you do that? You're not even watching the person. And that was a big name person. I just saw this. A friend of the Kardashians went and got free lipo from some guy down the street over here, and you could see it's in a basic room, unclean, you know, like not meticulous, and he's talking to the camera while he's doing the lipo. How can you be meticulous? How can you not miss the spot? So from the math teacher, I learned that you have to have that level. And if you want those types of clients that really trust you, that, you know, their face is their life, their body is their life. I mean, I have models like that you guys know on billboards that have had lipo by me. And I don't tell anybody. Or their skin. I'm watching movies all the time, having to see my patients. Actually, one of my patients is so crazy. There's an Instagram called Celeb Face. I don't know if you guys know it, but it basically does super up close pictures. Like, you know, I did my nose hairs. It's even more than that. It's like this. And they're like, what did she have done? You know, right there. So one of my clients really wanted a laser like a week or maybe 3 to 4 days before a red carpet event. I was like, you shouldn't do it. But if you really want it, this is the one we can do. You'll be able to cover it with makeup. So she did cover it with makeup, looked unbelievable. But somehow these 4K high-res cameras showed all the way up here in these little dots, little dot. And all it was, what did she have done? What did she have done? Thousands of responses of like everyone what they thought she had done. And it's crazy. It's just so crazy how people are so obsessed with the finest detail. And that's why if you want that type of client, you have to be that type of doctor. Absolutely. And my staff is the same. They're 24/7 concierge, love the patients, make it their life to do whatever it is for them, because that's the type of person I grew up to be, all based upon these core meticulous skills of counting and handwriting that I learned from 5th grade.
I love that.
It's amazing how
no one knows these stories, by the way. I'm going to sell these.
It's amazing how a teacher can have such an influence in someone's life. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's really, you don't realize the impact that some people have. I mean, I'll tell you the opposite. I don't really hate anybody. I've had many people, unfortunately, especially around here. I think it's because people are so obsessed with being the most successful. And my thing is, I never really cared about being famous or successful. I just wanted to do really good work. The problem is around here, people are very obsessed with their ego. And I've had many doctors either flag my Instagram or steal people from me or say bad things about me when I've never done that about anybody before. So I don't really ever hate anybody, but I do dislike some things people have done, except for a doctor in my residency who was just a terrible person. I mean, literally only wanted it to be about him, only wanted his success, never wanted didn't care about what the patients would do. And unfortunately, he was in a position of power when I was in my residency, and he completely hated me because patients loved me. And I knew, I should have known going forward that that would happen in my career with other doctors and other people. Luckily, a lot of that has settled down a little bit, but you'd be surprised. I mean, I had someone today send an email to our staff, say, why does Dr. Emer, it's another doctor in our area, say he's a cosmetic surgeon? I'm reporting him to the medical board. First off, I'm a board certified dermatologist. Dermatology is a surgical residency. In the United States, I don't say I'm a board certified plastic surgeon. I say I'm a board certified dermatologist that does cosmetic surgery. That's legal. Why somebody cares so much is crazy. It's because they're probably not getting the clients or they're unhappy. But and I did an entire surgical fellowship where literally for a whole year, all I did was remove skin cancers from people's faces, and I reconstruct their faces. Who says that's not doing surgery? Yeah. You know, and why does someone care so much? But every day it happens. We came out with my new skincare line, Emerage Skin, recently, and in 2 days, I can't say who, but a large corporation tried to sue me because of the name of our kit. Huge corporation, multi-billion-dollar. I'm like, I'll never win this. My trademark attorney is like, thank God you have this trademark because there's no way you can win. I was like, but why does someone care so much? Success. It's not even their name. It just has 2 letters of their name. Success. But they still want to say it's their trademark. People care too much about themselves, and they have to let people care more about other people. Don't worry about so much what other people are doing. Focus on what you're doing and trying to help people. And that's the thing that I do now. I try my best. The problem is the less you care about what other people think, the more those people don't like you.
Yeah, it's really.
Look at Britney Spears. I mean, amazing person in the world, probably the most lonely. You know, it's sad because that's what ends up happening. And it happens in this industry too, unfortunately, because the second I post something online, people they record it and they try and do it. And I've had people get burns before. I've had family doctors or nurse practitioners that aren't experienced in skin. You know, TCA Cross is something I do for acne scars. We apply a very strong chemical to the scars. I've had people go and try and do that with no experience, burn a hole through someone's face. Yeah. You know, and that's terrible. And so I try to, you know, that's why the education piece is so important to me. Going back to what you were saying and not diverting, but the education piece is so important to me because I really want the consumer to understand, not even the doctors, it's the consumer, because they don't know that they need to understand that there is a value to the years of experience and understanding of anatomy and skin care and going to the right person that has knowledge to be able to treat you, because there's risk otherwise.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Completely agree. So let's walk away from work just a little bit.
How? I'm obsessed with it.
I know you're obsessed with it. But I want to know, you get a free Saturday night, no work, and you're not allowed to go to teppanyaki. Where would you and your friends go in West Hollywood? Where would you go out? Where's the place to go?
Whew, that's a good question. I mean, look, I'm more of a barbecue. I told you I'm a Midwest guy. I'm more of a barbecue at home in the backyard by the pool. I'm like the Bobby Flay of this area. But if you ask my friends, and I know this sounds cliche, but they all like to go. Sorry, I thought I heard something. They all like to go to the Abbey or to Pump. Lisa Vanderpump's restaurant or to Pump.
You have no idea what you just opened up on this show.
I mean, look, or what is the other one? Tom Tom. They love Tom Tom.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's an Instagram thing or if it's just because everyone needs to go to the Abbey when they come to West Hollywood. And no matter who you are, it doesn't matter if you're gay or straight, you rip your shirt off.
Yeah, I think.
I know you already did it. And you're still trying to do it. But I'm telling you, there's something about it. There is lines out the door, people taking pictures. There's fake entourages that are there. Literally, there's a truck down the street that says, "We make you famous." You can hire them to look like they're taking pictures of you outside the Abbey.
You don't know now. Nathan's gonna be there like next week. I'm gonna be
already famous. TMZ is gonna be there for sure.
I'm
Oh,
going to be on your table getting everything sucked out of me in one of those chemical peels that you talked about.
yeah.
And you're going to be shirtless at
Nathan
the
will
Abbey.
be partying with my staff at the Abbey.
Oh, I would love that. My wife and I are addicted to that program, Vanderpump Rules.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
everyone loves. So one of my friends runs Lisa Vanderpup's pet rescue center.
Oh,
So
yes.
we know everybody. So it's like, you know, all they talk about is, you know, the Instagrams they do, the videos they do. Everyone needs to go there if they're coming to visit Los Angeles. That's what happens.
Well, after
I want to go to the pet store. They want to go out and party at the Shots at the Abbey.
Well, after COVID, we're going to come down and I'm going to take your friends out.
Let's do it.
And you can do a shitload of surgery on George.
That would be fine. Listen, as long as he does YouTube and Snapchat videos, it'll be fine.
Yeah, I love it.
Hey, but I also want barbecue by the pool. Like, let's.
Yeah, I'll do that too.
Barbecue is all protein. As long as you don't eat the carbs, you can have it after your high def.
Exactly, and I'll do that pre-drinking before we go to Pump or Tom Tom.
Perfect. Yeah, my friends are chefs here. They'll make you some amazing shots. Ones that you can't even taste the liquor.
Wow. So let's take you out of West Hollywood now, and let's say COVID restrictions are down. Where's one place in the world you like to visit or you haven't visited, and where would you go? Like, once you get to that place, what makes it so fascinating? What's the thing that makes it fascinating for you?
Well, I really love Asia, to be honest, and I've been to Korea a lot, but I haven't been to China. And the thing is, I mean, I've stopped in China, but I've never actually really been there. And the thing is, I have a lot of clients from there, and they're obsessed with skincare. And I really want to go there to see all the skincare. I mean, first off, in China, they love white Beverly Hills dermatologists. They do, because they want porcelain, beautiful skin. And then seriously, my best friend here, I'm allowed to say that because she's from Shanghai. And she actually helped me develop my new Aerify kit, which is a skin complexion brightening kit. I've been posting on my Instagrams. I don't know if you guys have seen
I've seen
pictures,
it.
and we should send them to you, and you guys should do it and do pictures of them every day and send me the selfies.
Yeah,
because it works. And the reason we made it, she goes, I'm taking you to Shanghai. This kit is taking you to Shanghai because the Asian women want really good results, beautiful skin, porcelain skin, but they have a lot of sensitivity. And I'm known for treating Asian skin types and mixed ethnicities and darker skin. And so that's why I'm like, I need to see what aesthetics is like in China. And all I get are these stories from my best friend Helen here, who's Chinese, of everything about Shanghai, why I need to be in Shanghai and China and everything all the time. She sends me literally pictures of Shanghai all the time. We will go here after COVID. That's what she says. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. But I need to be there because I know it's going to be a huge hub for everything aesthetics and skincare, which is what I'm basically going to be doing even more in the future.
I love it. Well, congratulations on that. And yes, we will definitely try it.
Yeah, email me your direct info you want. We'll send you the kit. Yeah, but you got to do the social media for me because I want to see those great photos of you guys before and after.
100%.
I want to ask you if, well, we talked a little bit about TVs. Is there a TV show that's like a guilty pleasure of yours?
Yeah, Billions.
Billions.
Have you ever seen Billions?
No, is it
okay? So it's Netflix. It's on Netflix. Let me tell you. So here's the thing. I mean, that's not as fun, but people call me one of two people: Miranda from Devil Wears Prada, okay, which is where I got this. Okay, just so you know, I did steal it from Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
And if you ask me who I want to be in a movie or whatever, who want to play me, I need it to be her or Keanu Reeves in The Matrix. But either way, I don't know how you merge the two. They're very different. But in Billions, he's a hedge fund owner. He owns a hedge fund, but everybody tries to knock him down. And he's one of the richest guys in the world. He's always ahead of everybody, he's smarter than everybody, but people are always popping up trying to take him down or be one step ahead of him. And it's such a good movie because it shows how if he can balance his work and his life, how he even befriends the competitors, and how he literally focuses truly on himself. But because so many people try and attack him from all angles, he's forced to fight back.
Sounds like it's a show about you.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, but it's in finance, which is way more aggressive, obviously. But I mean, they do a little bit more crazy things in this show. But the show is so powerful, and the guy that plays it, he's very emotional, but he can't show it because he doesn't want he doesn't want it to be seen as a weakness. So it's really quite interesting to look at the characters. Even people, unfortunately, that he trained, he was hoping the first time he ever showed a weakness to have them join him and they backstabbed him and started something else.
Interesting. So before I pass it off to Nathan, we're going to talk two things quickly. One of them is going to be about TikTok because I've seen your TikTok.
Here we go.
I've seen your TikTok. We're going to watch a few videos, but before we go there, I need to prove to myself that people might watch Skinterviews. And so I want you to tell me a story or a secret or something that no one has ever asked you or who you heard about from you on anything you've ever done in the interviews or about work, but something that maybe an embarrassing story growing up, maybe something.
Oh, I can tell you one. I can for sure tell you one, but it's not that as bad as you think. But there is one thing I absolutely despise when it comes to food. And just so you know, I eat a lot. I should be a 300-pound woman. I am the happiest fat person. I love food. And to me, it's funny because I sculpt people's bodies to be lean. I don't care what someone looks like. I'm artistic, so I know what to do. But if you want to be overweight and happy, do it. I tell people, they come in, they go, I want to be skinny. I'm like, why? You're happier when you can eat what you want. Like a girl today, she's like, my legs are really big. I'm like, they look nice. What do you care? What's the big deal? What do you need? I think people's perception is because of Instagram and filters and models and stuff. But some guys like to grab a little bit more. Like, what is it? What's the big deal? No one really cares sometimes. So I love food, but one thing I hate is fried onions. And you know how on
you're a barbecuer
menus, I'll tell you why. On so many menus, they put it as a garnish and they don't tell you. And they bring food out and all of a sudden there's fried onions all on top of it. And all my friends are like so excited, like it's a tortilla strip. It's not a tortilla strip. It's a gross, greasy fried onion that tastes terrible. Why are you putting that on top of a $100 steak? Why are you putting that on top of, an amazing like rice bowl or whatever? So when I was little for Thanksgiving, my grandma used to make green bean casserole with tons of fried onions. And one time, I think I was 8, she gave me a can and she said, I love these fried onions, so you can have a little bit before dinner. And I ate the whole can and I threw up all night.
Oh,
Every time, if a fried onion comes near me, I want to throw up.
I have a similar story with tequila. I don't touch it.
Well, that's from college days and you running around naked and over drinking. That's the problem.
That was last week. I don't know what you're talking about.
I did do that. Actually, I was fun in college, actually. I know I seem like I'm fun, but I was way more fun in college. And in college, I used to drink Gordon's Orange. Do you know what Gordon's vodka is? Yep. It's like the $2.99 of vodka.
Rail vodka.
Here. What?
It's what's on the rail.
Yeah, it's horrible. Exactly. But they had flavors at the time. This is way before all the vodkas that have nowadays it's like if they don't have passion fruit vodka, what's wrong with this place? It's like, you don't have vanilla? Like, I'm like, okay, you guys settle down. We didn't have that stuff when I was growing up. We had the $3 Gordon's Orange that you would cringe so much because it tasted like rubbing alcohol. But then all of a sudden the orange kicked in. So it was okay. So you would drink it. And then, we'd take shots of that and I would throw up all night. So now I can't drink any vodka.
So no Gordon's, no fried onions.
No.
I think this sounds like a new TikTok video that you got to make.
It could easily be a TikTok video.
It might have to be a TikTok video. All right, let's talk quickly about TikTok because before we started the show, you gave me a nice quick fact that I didn't know about. You are the first male dermatologist, cosmetic dermatologist surgeon, if I'm saying it correct, that was verified on TikTok.
Yeah, first board certified male dermatologist verified on TikTok.
Bravo.
Actually, TikTok, you guys don't even know this. Now, we have a lot of views, but it's not like what some of these crazy influencers are doing. I mean, literally, I have a job for 14 hours. I can't be on there all day talking about every skincare product, which I would love to do. Listen, if I could just do TikTok all day and an OnlyFans, I would do it. No, I'm kidding. But what I mean is, And for those who don't know, OnlyFans is such a great website. No, I'm kidding. I am thinking of making one, though, for behind the scenes of my day-to-day life. I really do think people would like it because they don't know there is so much that goes into what I do. Doctors that come by, they are astounded by what I do in business, what I do at home. Literally 2 of my assistants actually just walked in while I was doing this. I looked over, I don't know if you could tell. I looked over and I was like, what are you doing? So they're in here because we have so many things going on. But we don't have as many views, but the educational content, this is what we were talking about. TikTok reached out to me and said, you are really helping the industry by teaching people and educating consumers specifically on the lasers and the treatments, because I want them to understand, what they're in for, what they're trying to achieve. So our videos are all about the new technologies, the treatments, and it's starting to really get up there. I was just looking yesterday, a lot of them are 20 to 100,000 views. I have a couple of them that are 1 million. But it's not me taking my shirt off. If I started doing that, they'd be 10 million.
Let's go take a look. Let's go take a look. We're gonna go watch some of your
show them a little bit.
We're gonna watch some of your educational videos, and I got it. We'll watch them and come right back. Let's see what we got here.
Okay.
Warning: the following scenes may be graphic for some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
If you're under 30, these are the skincare products you should be using. First, I'm going to start with a cleanser for your skin type. Foaming cleansers are best for dry skin. This is my favorite. And this is my favorite for oily skin. Next, we use serums. This is a vitamin C antioxidant, and this one for pigmentation and acne. Next, we use a moisturizer. This one's for dry skin and has botanicals, and this one's for oily skin and has stem cells. Next, you have to treat the eye. This one helps exfoliate the skin, and this one helps dark circles. You can't leave your house without sunscreen. Extreme protection and ultralight. Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows, only time and
I am lost.
And it went like
Lots of education, lots of interesting stuff. You know what I'm taking away from TikTok?
What?
The love of your life. Because I'm a Dachshund owner.
Oh, really?
Short hair Dachshund.
Well, let me tell you, that changes everything now. Now, the question is, do you have a long hair or a short hair or a wired hair?
So she's the rescue and she is a short hair.
Well, when you come here, one of my best friends has 2 short hairs. One is a total rescue. She was actually found on the side of the road, completely almost dead, half eaten by probably a fox or something. And she rehabbed him completely. Wow. He literally walks with like one arm like a boxer. That's what we say. He's like getting ready to box. And then the other leg is hunchback. His back is hunchback, but he's the sweetest dog. My dog's a total princess.
Yeah.
She is the Lisa Vanderpump, let me tell you. She is curated to a T, hair perfectly long, beautiful nose, beautiful eyes. She's the she's the Bella Hadid, Gigi Hadid of the dachshund world.
I saw you brushing your teeth.
I brush her teeth. She actually goes in the shower with me. She loves the shower.
You.
She over here?
You got a lot of brownie points for that one with me. So.
Lexi, come here.
Are we doing this right now? Okay, honey, come here.
Lexi, come here.
2 dogs out.
She might be sitting somewhere. She's usually right next to me, but I think she's tired from today. My neighbor, who is a older retired woman, she has 2 Cavalier King Charles. She drives Lexi around in a cart all day around Beverly Hills. They go on walks all day, and she sits in a cart because she had back surgery not too long ago. and it's literally too much. I mean, she sends me these pictures all day, and I'm like, this dog has a better life than me. Let me show you. Let me show you. Look, here she is in the cart today on a walk.
Loving life.
It's Kathleen, living and loving it.
Yeah.
Let me show you. And then, wait, you got to see this. And then she also has in the car, she has her own bed. She's sitting outside the window in her bed in the car.
I love that.
She is more spoiled than me. You know how dog owners are.
Yes, absolutely. And you know what? Dachshunds are a whole other breed. They're so loyal that I'm like your neighbor and you. I am obsessed with mine.
Yeah, the thing about dachshund owners and dog owners in general is they're such good people. And actually, one of my clients is one of the biggest Instagrams, Penny and Theo, for dachshunds. You should go look at it. They're the sweetest. She came to me because her daughter followed me taking pictures with Lexi. And she said, if he treats his dog that way with these kisses and everything, he's going to treat my mom so well. So she sent her in.
I love
that. That's why I said there's an impact to the things you do personally and how it can affect you in professionally, because the way you touch your dog and treat them and how you care for people see that passion and that care, and they think that resonates over into what you do for work.
Yeah. So talking about having impact on people's lives, I'm going to take it away from a bit of fun, and we're going to add a little bit of serious. And we asked this question a lot in season 1 of Skinterviews, because at the time we're all locked down on isolation with COVID, and we've continued the theme of it in season 2. But I'd like to know, has anxiety or mental health impacted your life in any way?
You know, I as much as I mentioned my family and stuff, I'm actually not really that close to them. I'm close to my sister, and I've kind of always been on my own because I really had to pay for everything myself. And so even when I was in college, I had summer jobs and I was working. And so stress really wasn't an option. And unfortunately, you know, there's a lot of people that deal with anxiety and stress really well. Or don't deal with it really well. They need help and things like that to get through the day. I kind of never really have that. I've always been persistent. And even in times of COVID where, you know, basically we don't have an income and we have to do, you know, payroll protection and we have to let people go, I have to manifest where I want to be. And I've always said to myself, if I told myself I want something, I will make sure I get it. And I've always figured out a way to do that. And so I kind of flip anxiety around. I take the stressful situations and use them as a learning experience to be able to, you know, be much stronger in the future. And I know I'm not trying to be like a Britney Spears song, you know, like stronger and stuff like that. You know, you come back. I know it's impacted a lot of people and it's difficult times no matter what. And some people may not have as much of an opportunity, but even when I had nothing, I mean, literally I had to move to New York for my residency. I had to take out a credit card. I'll never forget. I had to charge $7,000 on a credit card to be able to transfer all my furniture. And then I had to put, you know, I had thousands of dollars. I said, okay, well, how can I pay this stuff back when it's so expensive in New York and I'm making almost nothing as a resident? I did a job every Sunday in Staten Island. And I literally would get up at 5 a.m. I would drive to Staten Island. I would see patients and make about $800 in a day. And it seems like, you know, that's not a lot for a doctor. But at that time, I mean, literally, that was all that I had. Those few extra $1,000 was I could pay my credit card back and eat. And so I always figured it out. When I was in college, I was a personal trainer. In med school, I was a personal trainer. And then, you know, when I was in my residency, I started a clinic. After I started doing that, in a couple of years, you know, residency is many years, as I started becoming more senior and doing a lot more cosmetics, especially for HIV patients, doing fillers. And at that time, fillers were not as big as they are now. No, I mean, here you go everywhere. You see people getting fillers there. I mean, no one even knew what that was. Right. We started a clinic on Saturdays where I would charge half the price to do fillers. And I got like 10% or 5% of a commission or something. I got paid a little bit to be able to do this clinic. And I did every Saturday. I went around, I told every person in the gym, I told all the doctors, send people to me. And you know what? That clinic was, by the time I left, I had 14-hour days on those Saturdays doing lasers and fillers and surgery and everything. So, I think that anxiety is huge right now for people, and it's probably more financial, and it's probably all more relationship too, because when you're stuck at home with somebody 24/7, or, you start to, you lose kind of those boundaries sometimes. So I think that what people have to do is, if they have that anxiety, to really figure out a way to manifest what it is that they want. With me, I'm just hoping that because we do really good work, and and I do really good social media, that people will continue to come to us and see the need in for somebody that's an expert. Because in my field, what's happening right now is a lot of inexperienced people, unfortunately, are getting the ability to do cosmetic treatments. Right. And even now, there's petitions right now in California for estheticians to be able to do lasers. I mean, look, I did 3 years of fellowship to be able to learn how to do lasers after I did residency and medical school. And I'm not saying that someone shouldn't do it, but there needs to be much more training than half a year on a learning how to do a laser. There's too much risk for people, but also, and I think that for me, my clients want an expert. And they'll always want to go to, and I'll always be pushing the boundaries of what an expert can do. And I'll try and educate some of the younger people that want experience. But I think people need to be careful, because it's gonna start to take a role. Sephora has fillers now. I don't know if you guys knew that, but Sephora, 8 locations in the US, you can get your lip fillers when you get your lip makeup, when you get your lipstick, or you can get cool sculpting now in Sephora. So with that said, it's just, I'm telling you, it's gonna be like a McDonald's. You can walk in and they just, do this. And the problem is, I had a girl yesterday like this.
Yeah.
Literally, her I was like this, and I was like this. And she's like, oh, I went to a Botox party, and my friend, she convinced me. I don't know. I was like, you can't get it. That's not what you want. This needs to be like, you don't go to some random person to cut your hair. You don't go to that random person to do your teeth. It's your beauty team, and that's what I think, we need to do. But in terms of the overall society, I think there's a lot of anxiety and financials right now in relationships. But for me, I really have to stay very strong for all my employees, all my patients. I have to always be on target, and I'm really good at doing that.
Love that.
Well, we could do this all day.
I know. Listen, I can always talk.
Yeah, you're so
always talk.
And you know what I love about it is we meet a lot of passionate people in this industry, but I have to say that I think you're probably one of the most passionate people we've interviewed on the show, George. Would you agree with that?
I'm just happy that we're opening the season with you.
I'm very happy about this.
I appreciate it. It's funny. I never thought of passion as a characteristic word for me. And I go through these all the time, because I'm doing this right now, this branding, with my skincare line and all the characteristics. And that's always the word that every company picks. So it's definitely, it's funny how a client can't see themselves the same way that you can see them. So I don't see that, because to me, it's natural. If I don't do what I need to do, I don't succeed. So if that means I need to be super passionate and dedicated and very meticulous and skilled and all that, I do it. And I think it's natural. Even my best friend said to me yesterday, he's like, Jason, you have a skincare line. You had almost 40 employees before COVID. Every doctor watches you, wants to copy what you do, which I get mad about, but he says you should feel proud about.
You should be proud about it.
What could make you upset right now? What could make you unhappy? You're in a position where you've literally manifested almost everything you've wanted, but I don't even think I'm successful yet.
Yeah. So
you don't see yourself the same way. And that's amazing that you see that, because that must be what my patients see when it comes to, I got a patient the other day, he goes, oh, you don't have to tell me what to do. You're the artist. I know you're going to do. Just do what you want to do. You know? And I go, wow, I can't believe that you see that in just the discussion we have and the videos you watch.
Yeah, I all I see is passion. You ooze it for this industry. I really do. So it brings me to my next question. I'm really interested in this. Let's go back to New York when you're going through your residency.
Yeah.
If you could now meet yourself at that time, Dr. Jason Emer today, what would be the one piece of advice you would give yourself knowing that where you are today?
This is not going to sound good, but my friends will all understand.
Yeah.
I would say be a little less trusting of the close friends that you meet, that you bring in, or take time to really get to know people before you make them your good friends. If you can count on one hand your best friends before you die, you should be happy, because so many people have come and said they were my friends, said they wanted to help me, be close to me. And again, I'm a Midwest guy, really nice, have nothing, came from literally nothing, give to people, and they'll try and take it from me. You know, and the problem is some of those scenarios had led to, unfortunately, staff not be able to get, you know, raises, or you not being able to help patients as much because something occurred. You know, you have to be super careful about who you bring in, and be, you know, a little less trusting at the beginning. It doesn't mean you need to be jaded. You know what I mean? You just need to take time to get to know people before you give everything.
I love that. All right. We are now at the point of our interview where we do some quick fire questions.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
Okay.
You have to do this. This is what you have to do.
This close?
It's the new look. I'm telling you, this is the new Instagram look. You're going to be like, hey guys, we're here today doing Botox. It's going to be like this.
I look horrified that close. Okay, ready. First answer that pops.
I can answer these. Oh my God.
Not too much thought about it. What's your favorite thing in your closet right now?
My hoodies.
What's your guilty food pleasure?
Pizza for sure.
Dark chocolate or milk chocolate?
Dark.
Sour candies or ice cream?
Oh, love sour candies on ice cream. No one's ever answered that, I bet.
No, that's a good answer.
Your house is on fire. What two things do you run back in and get?
Well, my dog for sure, and one pair of underwear. Because I usually don't have any on. That's the problem.
I don't feel so bad for taking my shirt off. iPhone or Android?
You don't have anything on now. You know. It's just for sure. There's nothing on it.
iPhone or Android?
Oh, iPhone for sure.
Tattoos?
A lot of them.
If you had a superpower, what would it be?
Being invisible.
Do you prefer texting or talking?
Texting 100%.
You can speak either every language in the world or talk to animals.
Ooh, that's difficult. I don't know. That's a tough one.
Okay, you're allowed one pass.
The animals.
You're allowed animals. Okay, and don't forget you get one pass.
Okay, pass. I want both.
Okay, white or whole wheat?
White for sure.
French fries or potato chips?
Oh, fries.
Intimacy or pizza?
Pizza. I can be intimate with myself after the pizza. I don't need someone else.
I think I love you. A place you haven't traveled to but is on your bucket list.
Bora Bora.
And you get to have dinner with God and you're granted one question. What would it be?
Ooh, that's a good one. I want to know how old I'll be when I die.
Ooh.
Okay. And your ultimate best friend, Beyonce or Rihanna?
Oh, that's tough. Wait, this isn't good. You're not going to post this. I would go Beyonce. I think she's pretty amazing.
Okay, I promise not to tell Riri. All right.
Please.
I want to before we pass it on to Nathan to give you the last two questions of the night, I want to say a massive thank you for being on Skinterviews today.
I loved it. It was great. It was great.
I wish we had 10 more episodes that we could do this because you have so much to say and there's so much more we would want to know. And I'm sure viewers would want to know. So I would love to do a follow-up episode with you sometime in the future. But thank you so much for being on the show. And I can't wait to make it out to LA and to West Hollywood and see it for.
Yeah, well, you remember, you're going to come and get sculpted. He's going to get drunk.
Yeah.
And then
fun, and then I'll make you guys pizza, and everyone will be intimate. It's perfect. That's what I learned from this interview.
And you don't think I forgot about the sour candies and the ice cream?
You honestly, it's the truth. I'm not lying. Almost every night. This is one thing I didn't tell you, even though I have an amazing six-pack, which I told you I would promise I would show.
Yay!
At some point, I told you I would show my body,
Yeah.
the and my chest and everything. I have to because I do those shower chats.
Yeah.
I do eat a lot of sour candies. I literally have an entire closet behind me filled with them, and tons of Ben & Jerry's ice cream.
Wow.
Every night, I have to have candy and ice cream.
I love it.
Even if it's a few bites, I have to do it.
I love it. I'm coming faster than you know.
Can't wait.
Awesome. So it's called, this program's called Skinterviews, so we always have to tie it back to the skin. And this is good for you because it gives you a chance to plug your skincare line. So what's your current skincare routine?
Well, that's what I always, I have like a protocol for people, and I tell them every morning you need to do some sort of enzyme cleanser, some sort of glycolic cream or an alpha hydroxy acid, and some growth factor or peptide and anti-aging cream. At night, you need to do a retinol, some sort of lightening cream, and usually something for your eyes or lips. So my Emerage skin line has basically all those essentials. In the morning, a very strong vitamin C antioxidant, a hyaluronic acid that's very powerful. It's mixed with antioxidants, a brightening cream that we use for blemishes and for acne. My kit has kind of that whole. So I do, honestly, though, if I showed you my bathroom, you'd die. You would not think it's a male, first off, a male's bathroom, number one. And number two, I use about 10 products in the morning. But here's the thing. I put them all together in a circle on my hand, and I just dab them right on my face. Lots of studies show it does not matter the order of application, and it doesn't matter how many you apply at once. They all absorb the same. So people who do like the one and then they wait 5 minutes and they do another, these influencers are not telling them the right thing to do, and they're wasting 30 minutes in the morning. Any guy that tells me they can't apply 3 or 4 creams in the morning because they're too busy, put it next to your toothbrush and put it on your hand and put it right on your face and go. 10 seconds. But so it's a vitamin C, some sort of anti-aging cream. My skincare line has Refit Face and Eye, which I'm very proud of. It's took us 2 years to develop. It's a really high potent peptide cream. It actually was just the beauty editors at Allure absolutely love it. There's a lot we're going to be doing with them. And the eyes, you actually see an improvement right away. I made it to help patients heal from lasers and from microneedling and facials, like trauma, like daily trauma to the skin. But it just showed an improvement in the complexion. So if you're going to invest, you need to get a anti-aging growth factor stem cell type of serum. But if you want the basics, you need a glycolic cream. You need an enzyme cleanser, which I have an amazing enzyme polish that we just made with papaya, lactic acid, salicylic acid, and citric acids, all the acids on the skin. It makes it literally glow, which I just did right before this. The foaming cleanser I have has brightening in it, has licorice root in it. It has a marine extract to tighten skin. So you're not only just cleaning, you're actually getting a treatment at the same time. And then from there, all the essentials, obviously sun protection. The one I made, the Fusion Shield, our sunscreen is pretty awesome. It has 20% vitamin C. It has the peptides in it I just described to you. So it's also anti-aging. And the marine extracts that are in it help to tighten skin. So most sunscreens on the market, yeah, they have a high SPF, but they don't do anything for anti-aging. They prevent sun damage, which is aging, but it doesn't reverse your damage. This actually treats your skin while protecting it. So that's why I love it. It's also tinted, and you bring up Rihanna, for example. My good friends write for her and do stuff and stuff like that. They're all dark skin, and so we tested out different samples of it, and we came to a tint that worked on every skin type. It didn't matter how light or how dark. It made your skin look freaking awesome and flawless under eyes and everything. And so it's a matte finish with a nice tint at the initial, at least, onset of the sunscreen that we produced.
Awesome. Thank you for all that info. Now, the last question before we let you go. Who would you like to see next on the show, and can you maybe help make that happen for us?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer. I mean, here's what I would tell you to do. Make a list of the, are we talking about celebrities or are we talking about doctors?
Doctors
or celebrities, both.
Well, I guess that's true. I would be interested in any of the doctors that do the sort of like Ken doll Barbie makeovers, because I am totally against that. I think it's crazy, but I do think it's artistic. So I'd be curious to know the mind of like a Frankenstein, you know, because I'm like, I think I'm more of the ice sculptor, you know. That's how I tell myself. I say, you commission me to make your body. It's not like I'm not a replica. I told a patient this today. He goes, well, what's the cost going to be if it's all that? I go, look, you're commissioning me for your body. I'm not a copy. So it's the difference between, you know, the art that's an original versus the art that's not. But so that's me. But these, you know, the people that do these like extreme body modifications and stuff, although I'm not fully for it, I'd be curious to know, how did they get there? Why did they do that? And that's like a Frankenstein. That's like scientists, you know, they're recreating things. So interestingly, though, I will say, if there's a trauma, someone has injury, they potentially could be somebody that could help them. And so that's the thing, is even though these are like plastic things, it may help somebody in the future who's missing part of their leg and needs an implant created or something like that. So you have to think of it in a positive. That's why I always say, you always take the anxiety, you have to turn it around. So in the case of that type, I don't know who that person is yet. I'd have to research it a little bit. It's probably a person in Europe. But I would say that would be a really interesting thing.
Awesome.
Body modification.
Thank you so much for today. Like,
I need to put a plug into my skincare line, you guys. If anyone wants any of my skincare, I want you to go to emeragecosmetics.com. The website emeragecosmetics.com is really a site actually that has all doctor dispense products. We actually ship to Canada. And the thing is, we ship all over the world. But the interesting thing, I made it originally because a lot of patients want high quality products. And Sephora, you get, you know, they're okay, but they're not high active. They're just kind of cosmeceutical. They're not medical grade. To get medical grade, typically you have to go to a doctor's office. So what we do on that site is we do free virtual consults with our estheticians and our nurses, and then you can get anything you want that's medical grade. It's pretty amazing. So you can literally do a free consult and ship peels, high quality skincare products. My line, Emerage Skin, is there, but it's a lot of companies that are there. I mean, all the companies people know is Clinical, SkinCeuticals, Rev Skin. I mean, all the main companies are there because, we give them for a cheaper price. So the reason I like it is then people can get the quality ingredients I want them to have, and they can add in their things like Glossier and Sunday Riley and all the Sephora brands on top of it. But at least they can get medical grade, where they maybe couldn't do that because they might not be able to afford to go to a dermatologist or literally just go to see the doctor because they're too nervous about COVID.
Spell it out for me. Spell out the website for me so people can.
EMERAGE, Emerage Cosmetics, COSMETICS.com. So emeragecosmetics.com.
Good.
And that's it. And we have an Instagram too, which I told you has like 57,000 followers. And my Emerage Skin, which I'm hoping we'll get even over 500,000, has 490 something thousand.
Amazing. Well, I'm hoping people from this will get it closer to that 500.
You too.
They can also follow you on Jason Emer MD.
Yeah, that's our Instagram, TikTok, Snap.
There you go. And don't forget, they can also find you on LinkedIn, Jason Emer MD, Facebook, Jason Emer MD. But most importantly, because now I'm going to be looking out for it, JasonEmerMD.com, which I'm sure has links to everything else too, right?
And wait, I'm telling you, 2 weeks from now, maybe even 1 week.
2 weeks.
2 weeks from now, I want an email from you. I want to see what you think of our new homepage.
Yeah, we can't wait for that. Yeah.
I will definitely let you know.
Nobody has anything like it.
We're gonna park you backstage and say goodnight momentarily. I don't want you to leave because I want to say goodnight or goodbye. And I'm just going to close the show, and we're going to be right back. Again, a massive thank you from Nathan and I for being on the show.
Thank you guys so much. It was great. I feel honored to be the season opener and to have shown you my abs tonight.
Yeah, we love it.
I'm never eating again.
That's okay. No, I want you to eat because then I could take the fat and put it in your ass or your chest. That's what we do. Or even your penis. We do that too. I don't know. I don't know what you need, but we do it all.
Everything.
More than you know.
Okay. I'm down. We're going to talk about it. Let's get to a video from our sponsors, and I will be right back to say goodnight. And just like that, we come to the end of season 2, episode 1. And already I'm taking lessons away. I mean, what an amazing character that doctor is. And he's backstage. He's probably listening to you, so I can't say anything bad about him, as most doctors are. But let's take one thing away from that interview: the perseverance and the dedication to meticulous treatment plans and taking care of your passion or your patients with that kind of passion, a passion you're not even aware of, because that dedication to your job and your education is just who you are. That's something we could all learn to live by. That's something we can all appreciate when we see in someone. And this is the reason for Skinterviews. We want to get to know all our doctors. As one doctor said in season 1, we are taking the masks off the doctors. We want to get to know them in ways we've never known them before. We see them for what they do professionally, but there's so much more to that technique. There's so much more to that artistry. And that artistry comes from the personality and the personal traits that make you want to be the best, that make you want to be so good at what you do that other people sometimes want to follow, that other people sometimes want to copy. And we should also be flattered by that. Jason Emer is an incredible, incredible way to open the season. And we've got an incredible lineup for the rest of the season. And I can't wait for you to watch it. And I want to hear all your messages. I want to know exactly what you think. You can find us on Instagram at skin.terviews. And of course, on Facebook, facebook.com/skin.terviews. LinkedIn, Skinterviews by Nathan and George. And rumor has it, you can catch all of season 1 and season 2 as a podcast now. So if you're on the go and you want to hear it, but you couldn't watch a video because you're driving, plug in the podcast, download it. We're going to be posting details on our Instagram page coming soon with all that information about our podcast as well. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Full Script. Thank you for making season 2 a reality. And thanks to our first guest, Dr. Jason Emer. Make sure to check him out.